Hello everyone and welcome back to the Nifty Knowledge YouTube channel. Today's video I'm going to be trying out a longer format. I'm going to be trying to make this one between 10 and 12 and a half minutes. Of course, I'd like to hear from you in the comments if you like this type of video or if you prefer the shorter ones that I've been doing in the past, which are around 5 to 7.5 minutes long. As I mentioned in my previous video, today's video is going to be on the gambling scene in Counter-Strike Offensive. However, it's not going to be going over what's going on with the gambling scene. It's going to be specifically going over the cease and desist letter that Valve has sent out to several of the gambling sites and what is missing from it, what the odd parts of it, and majorly what parts of it are missing that should be in it, according to what Valve has stated in the past. So for the majority of this video, you're going to be seeing in the background the letter, the cease and desist letter that was sent out to the 23 gambling sites, and I'm going to be explaining there are several irregularities with this letter that I'm going to be going through. If you want to see videos explaining previous issues of the gambling scene, I'm going to link Richard Lewis's channel in the description. He is the one that initially released this the video explaining the takedown of these gambling sites and has done several videos on this that have been updated with further information. Now, this letter includes some gambling sites you would expect on it, like CSGO Double, CSGO Shuffle, CSGO Lotto, all those CSGO sites that have had previous drama, and many other gambling sites that have sponsored big content creators and are taking in large amounts of skins and money each day. I've talked about this in previous videos, however, I have not saying this. In Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is the game that the majority of this falls around, some of it revolves around Dota 2, however, the majority is Counter-Strike Global Offensive and will be the focus of this video. There are skins for your guns that you can get. They are cosmetic items, they're just pixels on it that make them look different from the standard weapons that you play with. And there are certain rarities associated with these skins, some of them being incredibly rare, worth up to multi-$1,000, and some of them being cheap, 5-10 cents. On these gambling sites, you can bet your skins in hopes of winning big, like a regular casino, and there are more and more lawsuits that are being filed against Valve and these companies every day, and it's even been insinuated in the past that Valve had involvement with it, a large reason behind them attempting to ban these gambling sites, supposedly. Now, there are two main companies in this layer that my video is going to focus on. These two companies are CSGO Lounge, which is listed in the letter of cease and desist, and OP Skins, which you'll notice is not featured in it at all. The first site that I'll be talking about here is CSGO Lounge, and what is odd about Lounge is that it is more of a casual site. It's not actually a gambling site. It was originally based as a site for users to meet each other and trade these in-game items. The site didn't actually take a portion of this, it just linked you with other people, such as something like Craigslist would. However, it also features the ability for users to wager skins for Counter-Strike on matches between professional teams that are currently going on. Now, while there is a lot of risk-reward associated with this, and while there is the chance that underage users are going to be wagering skins, I'd say, for this, as opposed to gambling, it's not a gamble. The site attempts to provide you with as much information as possible, including links to professional sites that rate each of these teams and give further analysis of each of the players, each of the teams, and what you should expect from the match, to allow users to be as informed as possible when making a choice. It is something best described as similar to a fantasy football league or DraftKings, where you're choosing a player to win and you're getting as much information as you can ahead of time. For those of you who know what CSGO Lounge is, you may see that DraftKings or fantasy football isn't really as apt a comparison as possible. However, what I'm trying to convey here is that it isn't a gambling site. It is not used for gambling. You are wagering on a team, and there is a lot of information that you're able to attain about these teams to make the most educated decision possible. What is even more odd about CSGO Lounge being one of the sites named on the cease and desist is that CSGO Lounge has actually helped very much so to foster the Counter-Strike community, and they've given a lot of support for it, giving users a place that no other site has really given them. Reddit has some subreddits where you can trade skins, but other than that, there isn't much place for them to trade skins. It also encouraged a large viewing audience for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, as with these games, when you place skins on them, or if you don't want to place skins on them, it provides a link to each of the different streams, not only through Twitch, but through other groups like Hitbox that sponsor the streams, and it allows you to view it through their site. It just seems odd that a site that has helped the community so much, and this is something that Richard Lewis noted in his videos too, that CSGO Lounge has helped the Counter-Strike community grow and thrive, and it's made it a better place. It's not a place where you're really gambling skins. It's actually a relatively decent place, and it's helped the Counter-Strike community grow, and they're kind of getting screwed over here. Now, part of the reason I brought this up first is because the other site I'm going to talk about, opskins.com, there are some contrasts with how OP Skins has interacted with Valve, supposedly, and how CSGO Lounge has interacted with Valve, supposedly. To preface this, OP Skins has directly supported monetarily to support Counter-Strike tournaments and help to grow the scene with monetary support, not just with encouraging a larger viewing audience for the scene. They have actually provided 4 events. These events have hosted some of the biggest teams in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and CSGO Lounge in the past has not provided direct monetary support to the best of my knowledge. Now, OP Skins is a very different site from CSGO Lounge. OP Skins is a site where players may sell the skins that they get in-game for actual cash and money. Without OP Skins, the only way to sell your skins is to sell them on the Steam market, where you only get Steam money, which you can use to spend on other Steam games and in-game Steam items. However, you cannot get actual money for it. You can also go to middlemen, which is rather shady. You have to trust either through a middleman or through just the other person that once you give them the skins, that they're going to pay you in whatever currency, whatever system they tell you they're going to pay you in, and that they're not going to attempt to refund it or take the money from you or just never give it to you in the first place. From this, you can see the first reason why Steam may want to keep OP Skins around and not have included them in this letter. Providing a place to cash out these skins for real money that isn't hosted by Steam absolves Steam of any legal issues with gambling or just using the skins to make money off of children in any way that they could take fire for that. It also helps to give these skins a consistent value, as you can not only trade them with other players, but you can get real money for them, which gives people incentive to get them in the first place. And as I mentioned before, OP Skins have directly contributed to sponsoring events for these Counter-Strike Global Offensive teams and helping to promote the scene monetarily, as opposed to just through their larger viewing audience. However, in the findings that have recently come out with CSGO Shuffle and the other betting sites that have been exposed for very nefarious activities, it's been found that OP Skins is actually a very less than honest website. Again, I'll be linking Richard Lewis's channel in the description. He is the main person that's done the exposing of OP Skins and of CSGO Shuffle. And from these logs, it seems as though OP Skins may have had some rather unjust business practices and partnerships that a site like it, with the reputation that it has, with the fact that it was not given a cease and desist, it was not mentioned in the cease and desist letter that was handed out by Valve, you would expect it to be a much cleaner website than it appears to be. It appears as though it has acting business relationships and has had acting business relationships with several of these gambling sites, and even more so, they have partnered together to try and gain popularity for some of these sites and remove popularity from other sites that did not go along with what they wanted with the deals that they had in place. Now, as more develops on this scandal, it will come to light whether OP Skins had as large of an involvement as it appears they may have had, or if it was all just a mistake, if it just seemed like they had more involvement than they did with these gambling sites. Now, before I end this video, I think I should mention that this is the only cease and desist letter that has been shown to exist. However, it could be possible that there were more than 23 sites that were sent a letter. It could be that there is a second letter that hasn't surfaced that was sent to other sites like OP Skins and other betting sites that were not included in the original letter that have been updated. However, it seems unlikely, as no letter has come to life on this, and as OP Skins provides a really mutual benefit to Valve, it seems as though they're a company that will not be stopped by it. Now, several betting sites in the past have claimed that they have a way around the Steam subscriber agreement in order to allow users to continue betting skins. However, it has not yet come to life if these gambling sites are true to their word or if they were just saying that to encourage users to continue visiting their sites and to continue supporting them through this tough battle that they're facing. Now, in the comments for this video, I'd love to hear from you guys if you like the longer format. I'm trying to keep this one just around 12.5 minutes for the final time. I would also like to hear if you think that gambling is something that should be gone from Counter-Strike Offensive, if you think it's something that should be brought back, if you think Steam should attempt to drop it or rework the Steam subscriber agreement so these gambling sites may practice fairly within their agreement, and if you think that OP Skins is a company that should have been listed on it, if you think OP Skins is acting fairly, or if you have a completely different opinion about this than I do. As always, if you like this video, I would hope that you like and subscribe for future content, and as always, I hope it taught you something nifty.